Well, it's that time of year right now where a lot of us are getting outside with our kids, walking our dogs more often because the weather is actually pretty nice. It's also marking the time where you might want to be careful around animals that you don't know. It's Bite Prevention Week here, and joining us this morning, we've got Beth and Flip to kind of talk about the do's and don'ts when it comes to dogs and to prevent that kind of accident from happening to your loved one.
Yeah, so this week we're really focusing on the bite prevention. All animals have the propensity to bite, so dogs, cats. You know, you always want to stay away from strange animals, but if you're approaching somebody with an animal, you always want to ask before you pet that animal, especially dogs, especially teach your young children to get in that habit early on of asking before they pet.
Now, what about as a pet owner? Let's say that you know that your animal can be somewhat temperamental around certain situations. What can you do to make sure that they're still able to go out and enjoy that nice walk without maybe harming somebody else?
Right. So any aggression, you know, is unacceptable. But if you have a dog that you know has specific triggers, you want to try to kind of tailor your time that you're walking. Maybe if it's late evening and you notice that there's not as many people out and about, that's going to be your window to go walk your animal. If you see another animal and maybe your dog isn't the friendliest with other dogs, you cross the street way ahead of time instead of trying to pass at the last second, you know, and not putting your animal in a stressful situation and anybody else's in a harmful situation as well.
And you were talking about a good tip that you've done with your animals in the past, maybe putting something in their mouth or having a ball or something like that.
Yeah, and two, if you have an animal that's approaching you and you are fearful that they might bite you or anything like that, number one, we don't want to run away. But if you have something in your hand, you know, if you shove it right in their mouth, that usually they just want to clamp down on something. If you have something in your hand, I've had paperwork before, just stick paperwork in their mouth. I've known people to use phones, anything to kind of stop that. They just want to put their mouth on something. They are animals. They can't talk to us, so all they have is their mouths. They do usually give warning signs as well, and you want to be mindful of your animal too, as far as warning signs, you know, especially with young children. They're not a babysitter, so you want to make sure that that child's attended all the time and that dog's not in a stressful situation.
And one dog that's certainly not stressed, super sweet, Flip here, and I love, he's a schnoodle?
He's a schnoodle. He's a schnoodle, so he's part schnauzer, part poodle. He's 9 years old. He does have a couple little health issues, mainly because he's a little overweight. But it is spring, summertime coming up, so, you know, he's the perfect dog to get with somebody that might be a little bit active and wanting to, you know, go outside, do a lot of walks. He would definitely benefit from lots of outside walks. He likes it outside.
Such a sweetheart. Definitely made friends in the newsroom whenever he got here. So Flip the schnoodle.
He's 9.
And Beth, thank you guys so much for joining us this morning. If you need more information about Bite Prevention Week or you're interested in maybe adopting Flip, because Flip is looking for his forever home. He was an owner surrender, so looking for a new family. You can call the phone number right there on your screen.